All right, so I don't have a question today. I'm just kind of want to start and see how you're doing.
All right.
How's life been treating you?
I'm doing good. Life is good. I just got back from the beach the other day, so that was really nice.
You went on vacation without me.
Well, you were busy and I wasn't busy, so I was invited to the beach. I went to the beach.
Yeah, I think it was important for you to get a little bit of a break because
you
started a new job.
Yeah.
It's kind of all in front of you all at once. And then it was like, oh, geez, you're doing really well. You're not getting overwhelmed by it. But I think there's definitely a good, it was a good time for you to go on a vacation.
It was a perfect time. And
excuse me. Sorry, my throat is messed up.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't have COVID.
You don't have COVID. There's no way.
I've never gotten it.
I know. We can talk about that in a minute, but we went to a
You don't want me to distract you?
Well, my parents have been going to the same beach for
I have the shirt on.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you do.
The
salty dog.
I didn't even plan that.
No, you didn't, but well done. But yeah, they've been going for like 5 or 6 years, and I've never been able to go because of just life stuff. This was my first time going.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they've been going for like at least 6 years, if not more like 7.
Jeez.
But anyway, I've never been able to go just because of school schedules and then life and always having started a new job or like just different stuff. And they always talk about how much they love it and how great it is and how they look forward to it every year. And so I finally was able to go. And I'm sorry you couldn't come. Maybe next year will be your year.
Maybe.
But we had
a
really
beach guy anyway. But
well, they also have a pool.
Oh well, I'm in. Sign me up. I'm not a big body of water guy, I guess.
Well, there's a great room with a patio.
I'm glad that you got to go.
I
when I'm on my own, I will say, I see into the void.
I was worried about you, but you did well.
You were gone for 4 days.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we're going to get pretty personal. I'm terrible in the kitchen. I'm not a good cook. I never learned how to cook.
I was going to say, you're not
learn how to cook.
You're not. It's not that you're terrible in the kitchen. It's you have no idea what to do.
Right. And that, in my opinion, is terrible in the kitchen. How else would you define that?
I think you're just non-existent in the kitchen.
Sure. Okay. That's a nicer way to put it.
Like, it's not that you can't. It's that you just...
I just don't.
Don't know how.
That's on me. I get it. I don't like it. I'm not a big cooking guy.
And that's okay.
Regardless, you cooked some food for me, which was so very nice. And then I also did DoorDash, which...
Big mistake.
Here's the thing about me, guys. I don't want to self-diagnose, but I have a binge eating disorder.
You absolutely do.
It's just, I've never been formally diagnosed, but I have every sign. And I have dealt with it my entire life. I don't know where it came from or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, when I look at the DoorDash app, my brain does not operate in the same way that a normal person's brain. Dude,
it's like an out-of-body experience for you.
It is like something like...
Your lizard brain takes over.
And it's like, you will never eat again. You better eat so much food in this current moment.
Get the normal amount of dinner that you always get from Jersey Mike's, but look at this giant Cinnabon that's intended for 4 people to share and eat the whole thing. That's a true story, by the way.
That is actually what happened.
That's
so
what
night
happened.
1, Sarah and I had a strategy. We talked about it. We said, okay, because I know my triggers. I know all this stuff. I'm almost 30. I know how to deal with it, right? So Sarah and I sat down before she left. She's like, I'm going to meal prep you stuff so that you'll have food in the house so that you don't have to worry about buying blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I know that you're probably still going to want to eat out. Let's try and limit it to 2 times.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that's a great idea. Thank you for being supportive.
You only did eat out twice.
I did.
But you had some extra stuff that maybe wasn't in the initial plan.
There were 2 moments of eating out.
Yeah.
But those meals were probably more like 2 or 3 meals.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, it's like I look at the DoorDash app and it's like, you're never going to be able to eat this ever again. So you might as well
go for it. Yeah.
And I think that's from early on in my dieting career. I was
with like cheat days.
Right.
Yeah.
I really leaned into the cheat day model, which doesn't work for me. It may work for some people, but it really doesn't work for me.
Well, because you just went so hard on a cheat day that you totally negated everything you had done during the week.
And people, a lot of people, well-meaning people on the internet will preach like, oh, one day is not going to kill you, right? You can have, for me, it really did. I was in a deficit for 6 days of the week, and then what I would eat on my cheat day or from my cheat meal would then get me out of that deficit to neutral or even a surplus.
On average
For the whole week. So I am sympathetic to that idea of like, yes, and
cheat days were great for me personally.
I preach that to a lot of people. If you can understand that this is a diet break that is just a little bit of more food,
fun,
right?
A little bit more freedom.
In my head, it's this diet has been hell. Now you are seeing a taste of heaven.
I can have everything.
Literally.
Yeah.
So anyway, DoorDash, so I got the Jersey Mike's, which is great.
That is your favorite restaurant.
I love it.
In fact, that was like the first thing that my mom asked me when I showed up at the beach. She's like, how's Jonah? What's he going to do while you're gone? Is he going to have Jersey Mike's tonight for dinner?
Bet I am.
Like it was hug. Hey honey, how are you? How's Jonah? Is he having Jersey Mike's? Like that. I am. It's like we should be sponsored by Jersey Mike's.
I love it. I love it so much.
We eat that.
You know why I like it? Is because any other sandwich, like fast food sub chain, gives you like one piece of turkey.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's,
and it's like plastic.
Boom. They are just pounding that.
They're generous, and it seems to be pretty good quality.
I don't really care about that. It tastes fine.
Any other
the Subway
sandwich,
is garbage.
Ugh.
It's
like rubber.
I was a big Jimmy John's guy for a while, but then recognized that sandwich is 90% bread.
That might be why I love it so much.
There's not enough meat in there for anybody.
Yeah. But I do like the bread at Jersey Mike's a lot too. The rosemary Parmesan bread.
Yeah.
Cannot beat it.
But what happens is, and DoorDash is very smart about this, when you order,
the marketing,
there's a little thing that pops up. Be careful about this, folks. There's a little, it says, add to your order within 10 minutes, and you don't have to pay the delivery fee.
Whoa, bonus.
Wow. So I saw the Cinnaholic is the name of the place. I don't know if you've ever had one of these.
I think we have fallen for this before.
We have. You're so right. We've done this
I
before.
don't remember loving it, to be honest.
It was much better this time.
Really? Because when we had it last time.
I think it was too cold. It was old. Like we had waited too long to get it. I'm imagining if you get it in the restaurant, it's really good.
Probably.
But you don't love, like, I'm a fan of colder food.
Room temperature food.
So I don't mind the delivery, like cooling the food down.
Ugh,
I got a
I can't stand it.
Cinnamon roll. Dude.
It sounds like delicious.
Holy
It
cow.
sounds like it would be great.
And then immediately after, felt like the worst I felt in years.
Yeah.
And it
took you like days to recover too.
Well, so one day goes by, I'm good, right? And then again, you're coming home. So there's something in my brain that says this is going to end because Sarah's going to come back and you're going to have to go back to the way which I like the way we eat when you're home.
Yeah.
I don't like emotionally, I'm not like, but there's something in my brain that goes off that's like, you're going to have to go back to the restriction. It's not even restricted.
Right.
It's just lies that my brain is trying to tell me. So
it's your disordered eating patterns.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I was like, oh, well, it's time for a big summer blowout. Like,
yoo-hoo.
Yes. I got Five Guys and I just was like.
Five Guys is great though.
But it was.
Too much.
3 cheeseburgers.
Oh, no.
Bacon cheeseburgers.
Oh, no.
And at Five Guys, it's 2 patties.
I was going to say, that's a double cheeseburger. Goodness gracious.
Good Lord. And then.
Oh, no.
The large fry.
Babe, that's like for 3 people.
The whole bag of fries. When I tell you, I've never felt worse.
You probably felt so bad.
Since I initially lost all the weight.
What made you feel worse? The Five Guys or the cinnamon roll?
The Five Guys. 100%. 100%. That was horrendous. I had to go to sleep. I had to have like 6 Tums to settle my stomach.
Oh my goodness.
And then for 2 days after that, I had the meat sweats. My training was horrendous.
You threw your back out.
I hurt my back. It just like I want people to experience what it feels like to properly fuel themselves for physical activity. Because now I know, like back when I was heavier and I was eating basically whatever I wanted, I was still going to the gym and I was still working out, but everything really, I didn't have a reference point to what it was supposed to be.
You didn't know how good you could feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I initially lost all the weight and more so started cleaning up the foods that we were eating. I think the weight loss was a secondary, I really think it was a lot more cleaner food sources, not a lot of grease, not a lot of high fat stuff, right? Every now and again, I guess that's fine. But for me, it's like, it hurts me.
Because you just can't.
I just cannot
do a small amount
the way that I want. Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if you had one bacon cheeseburger and fries, you probably would have been fine.
I don't want to say never, but
that's not something that you can do when you're by yourself.
No. And even when you're
even when I'm here, I really
because it shouldn't be your job. It should not be your job to hold me back. You do very well with suggesting like, hey, this might be a little bit too much food. Yeah. But the choice is mine. Yes. At the end of the day.
Well, and you're a very stubborn person. Oh, yeah. So at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can say or suggest that would stop you. Like when you get into that like vortex of your binge eating like thought process.
No one on earth
I couldn't guilt you into doing something different. I couldn't nicely suggest you into doing something different.
Logic doesn't exist.
I couldn't scream at you and slam the door and drive away to make you stop it. No. I mean, there is nothing that I can do.
Well, and
besides me being the one to order it and just say, I'm not ordering that. Well, so you're going to get what you're going to get.
I don't have the apps on my phone.
You just don't have the control.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that, at some point I'll be able, and I am better than I was.
100%. So
I don't want this to be like, oh, I'm just beating myself up. No. I still have a lot of these tendencies, but it is night and day from when it was my worst. Mm-hmm. So that's great. And I can rest on those laurels and be like, yeah, I've made some changes, but there are still moments where I realize,
fall back into it.
Man, like I need these stopgaps and these safety measures. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the framework that we've set up has allowed me to have freedom with the choices of food that we eat here in the house that you make for us. And it's how do I say this? It's tight enough, or it's like there's 3 choices of protein. There's 2 choices of carbs,
And you can kind of mix and match.
I can mix and match and feel that variety and not get super bogged down. But also, we've already made the decision that these are the whole food choices that we're going to make. So I know that even if I switch to beef rather than chicken, it's still within the bounds of what we've set up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But to just like, it's become so important to me to really function well in the gym that is more so the thing that drives me. And
you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of variety to perform at your best.
And I'm also willing to sacrifice in normal circumstances this, cheat meal or binge day or whatever, because I know now, especially like if I can hold on to the feeling that I had on Monday in the gym after all this, and just like keep that in the forefront.
Like remember how bad you felt.
That's the other issue is my memory just really doesn't do me any favors here because I don't remember how bad I feel. But this time in the gym, I made a conscious effort to be like, this is because of the choice you made last night to not fuel yourself properly. You are not performing to the standard that you have set for yourself because of this. And I said that to myself out loud in the parking lot. I was like, do not forget this. And because it's easy to just say, whatever, I'll get them next time. Or, and sometimes you do.
It was an off day. It's like, well, no, it really wasn't an off day.
It shouldn't have been an off day.
Like you did this to yourself.
Recovery was really good. Everything else was really good. My attempt selection was really good. It was because of the food that I chose to eat.
And it's okay.
Yes.
It's not a big deal.
Yes.
Life continues.
I'm not
you're
here
back
flogging myself because of it.
No, but it's good to understand the way that different things that you do affects your performance.
Yes.
And I think that could be said for any part of you. Like, for example, if you are really struggling with staying up too late and so your sleep is bad, you could say the same thing. It's like, man, I really didn't do what I was supposed to do with my, bedtime routine last night. And I'm frustrated that I'm not performing well in the gym today. Yeah. So let me take this as a learning experience for tonight and have it, help me renew my commitment to having a solid bedtime routine or having a solid diet plan or, having a solid recovery routine, whatever it is. It's just fuel to do better next time. It's not punishment or flogging yourself. It's motivation to improve.
And the other thing that I want, like, it's not going to happen the first time. Like I said, I've been dealing with this for years.
You have to learn the same thing many times.
And as I grow up, that is becoming more and more clear to me. Like it would be awesome if we as human beings could learn the lesson after one mess up.
And we all know that's never going to happen.
It doesn't happen.
No.
Hopefully the next mess up maybe won't be as bad as the initial one because of the experience you gained, but you're going to mess up again. You're going to act in a way counter to what you want to again. That is nothing to beat yourself up about.
Right.
Right. We in gym culture specifically, it's like, it's all or nothing. It's like, oh my God, are you waking up at 3 a.m.? Are you bleeding out of your eyes because the training was so hard? Are you only eating chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life? Like,
it's like, you don't have to
pump the brakes, dude.
You don't have to do that.
That's crazy. That's not life.
It's not sustainable.
However, you have to find the balance between that and I'm never going to make any conscious effort to change myself for the better.
Yeah.
There is space in the middle. And that is where true freedom in the gym comes from, is taking a little bit of this and taking a little bit of that and saying, where does that land for me? And that is maturity and growth in the gym. That if you can get to that point, you're doing everything you need to.
And it takes a long time to get to that point. And that's okay. That's part of the journey.
The other thing is I don't think you're ever going to get to that point.
Yeah.
But again,
that's the ideal.
That's the journey, right? Yeah. And if you can fall in love with the journey, like we were talking about the process last week, that means that even when you experience those failures, it's just another step, right? It's not something to completely cut off the journey and say, oh, I messed up one time, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. Imagine, we'd be nowhere. So that, that's all I had to say on that. I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back. I missed you while I was gone.
I missed you
lot.
Too. Yeah. It's not,
we don't spend a lot of time apart.
No, we're very fortunate that both of our jobs are centrally located, that we get to, I don't travel for work, you don't travel for work.
Right.
So, and the other thing is
and we both primarily work from home. So we're even around each other most of the day.
Yeah, true. You went to one of your places and I was like, you're leaving? It's like, sometimes I have to go somewhere.
For 3 hours I was gone.
But it's
I wasn't even gone all morning.
But you get used to a certain standard of because we both used to work outside of the house. And
that's what I was saying. I'm I used to be gone for 9 hours a day between commuting and being at work.
And that was fine. Neither of us even clocked it.
But now it would be so weird to be gone for that long every day.
We're very fortunate in that.
We're very lucky.
I'm very thankful for both of our jobs in that way.
Yeah. And we don't get sick of each other.
No.
We do not.
Which is, again, also very fortunate.
Yeah.
I want to share moments with you more than anybody else.
Yeah, same.
So, all right. So that's a little bit of our life, how we're doing.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check in with everybody. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If we really enjoy doing this podcast, and I have a couple things to say about the podcast. One, it is now available on audio only on Spotify.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to us on your commute and you don't want to deal with the YouTube mobile app, I get it. It's on Spotify. I'm trying to get it on Apple Music and Google Podcasts, but the interface is really dumb. So it's probably just going to stay on Spotify for now because I wanted to.
People have Spotify. That's fine.
The other thing is, if you're enjoying the podcast, please like it and share it around.
Yeah.
I am absolutely garbage at calls to action because I just don't like promoting myself.
Yeah.
But in this space that we live in this social media atmosphere, calls to action are very important.
Yeah.
So indulge me for a moment to say, if you're enjoying this podcast or any of the content we put out on the channel, subscribe to the channel, share it with people. That would be my number one thing.
Smash the like button.
Sure.
Smash it. Give us 100 stars on Spotify.
My goal has always been with this channel to create a community of like-minded and not like-minded individuals, but people that love fitness, that love the pursuit of getting better in a physical. So the number one thing I could say is just tell people about it. If you find some value in the content, just tell somebody about it and try. I really just want to build the community up.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
And share what has, been a learning experience for you in your fitness journey. And because
Absolutely.
I bet that would help a lot of people too. Everybody has a different journey and it's always helpful to learn from other people's journeys and experiences.
I've learned the most. I've taken a ton of classes. I've done a bunch of, research, but I've learned the most from real world examples from people that I follow on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
And don't feel like if you want to make a comment and you're like, this is a dumb comment, that's not true. Because you never know, somebody, I mean, as long as you're not being mean to my wife, like those people, yeah.
Who could be mean to me?
A lot of people in the comments are mean to you, which
I
is
don't care.
Terrible. We don't care, but it's like, go do something else. But if you want to make a comment and you feel like no one has had this experience, the world is a big place, man. People have had that same experience, or people are going through the same thing you're going through, and are going to see that comment and say, wow, somebody else is having this same struggle. We can beat it together.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Lift each other up.
That's what I want the community to be.
Yeah.
So today, our main fitness topic is going to be red flags in personal training.
Okay.
So I am a personal trainer. I have worked at a big box gym. I have my own business, obviously. So I work with a lot of online clients. I see everybody across the spectrum. I've worked with the youngest person was 12. The oldest person was 87. So I've seen them all. I've also seen other trainers in action. And I've also seen examples online of trainers in action. So I want to talk about a couple red flags.
Okay.
What do you think my number one red flag is going to be?
I don't know what your number one red flag would be, but I think a red flag is somebody who just kind of has a one size fits all approach because, I mean, everybody's different, whether it's a different age, a different goal, a different activity that they want to be able to perform. And so to, treat the 12-year-old, like if your one size fits all is just like your standard, like mid-20s, like bodybuilder, that's not going to work for the 12-year-old. That's not going to work for the 87-year-old. And that's not going to work for at least 60 to 70% of the people in between. So to be able to have, or if you have a personal trainer who's like, this is my approach, this is my prescription for everybody, this is the diet plan that I give to everybody, this is the exercise plan I give to everybody, that's not a very good trainer.
No, I would say that's
a very bad trainer.
Right. That's top close to top of the list for my red flags.
What's top of the list for you?
Top of the list is just a lack of communication.
Okay.
And I think that probably goes, a lot of these kind of interweave and
by
go
communication,
hand in hand.
Do you mean like education?
I mean communication in any way, shape, or form. Either you're not hearing from them, they're not delivering plans to you on time, they're not delivering nutrition information to you on time. They're holding back, explaining to you why you're doing this exercise. Because the big fear in personal training is if I teach this person, they're going to leave me because then why would they come to me? That is such a...
The clients are going to leave you eventually anyway.
First and foremost, you have to realize, yes, most of the time...
This is not a lifelong 90% situation.
Of people are going to be there for 3 to 6 months and then move on.
Yeah.
Totally cool. No issue with that. But also, even if they have learned everything, the relationship that you've built with this person might be why they keep coming back. Most of my clients, by the time we're done with 6 months, understand the fundamentals of resistance training and nutrition, or I have not done my job correctly. But they remain with me because I provide them accountability. They really like the way that we communicate. They like my style, my personality. Sometimes people leave because the personalities don't mesh.
That's cool too.
That's my number one red flag is lack of communication. I want to talk about yours a little bit because that's probably number 2.
Okay. Oh, I was close. I almost got number 1. Oh, man.
The more that I do this job and the more that I'm presented with different people in my own business and my own practice, but also wading into social media and seeing different approaches, you cannot have you cannot be a personal trainer and have a one size fits all. The human body is so complex. The human schedule is so complex. Like food availability, there's so many variables. You cannot have a one.
People have different pain, knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain.
Oh, absolutely.
History of injury. I mean, there's so many variables that you can't account for.
You cannot account for it. And I understand, because we're so tied to monetary value as a trainer, and more clients means more money. But at a certain point, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I taking on more clients and neglecting them? Am I taking on more clients and being unable to provide service for them? I think someone that has 15 to 20 diehard clients who are willing to do what you tell them to do, who are willing to communicate with you, and who are willing to put a plan in practice are 1,000 times more valuable than 100 to 150 clients that you're just cut and pasting programs and sending, right? There is a space for that. And I do that. I have a service where I say, listen, I can't provide you with one-on-one coaching, but what I can provide you with is a fitness consultation, and then I can build you an 8-week or a 12-week program that you can just run, right? And it's way cheaper if you don't have the money for one-on-one coaching or you don't want to make the full commitment, that's totally fine. Yeah. But you got to be upfront with what the service is going to be.
Right, and the price reflects the amount of work that you put in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you want one-on-one coaching, and if you as a coach want to provide that, then you have to bring the level of care up, or you're doing these people a disservice. 100%.
Yeah.
I think the communication part goes hand in hand with that, because as you build your communication skills, you'll be able to better serve the individual that's in front of you. But every single trainer that I talk to, whether they're shadowing me or they're just starting out, I tell them, fit your program to the individual, because we all have, I really love powerlifting. And so most of my training revolves around heavy, quote unquote, heavy for the person, compound movements with a little bit of bodybuilding work. And that works really well for some people. And it doesn't work really well for other people. If after 3 months, they are not really responding to the program that I'm giving them, it is on me to change my approach. It is not on them. Right.
And you know enough to coach from a different perspective than the powerlifting. That's your go-to.
Right.
But you know enough to do something different that might work better for somebody else.
Everybody has their, go-to plan, go-to, even in nutrition, a lot of people have calories in, calories out, rigid tracking. That doesn't work for some people. Some people just need general advice, portion size control, right? Some people are keto coaches or intermittent fasting coaches. That doesn't work for everybody, So it's on you as the client to really try and get a feel for the person within the first 3 months.
And I think it's also your responsibility as the client to be very upfront with your coach about what you're looking for. Because if you don't tell somebody what you want, you're not going to get what you want.
This is...
And it's okay if you say, I've never worked out before. What are the different approaches? Like, this is what I'm thinking about, but, ask for education. And if you know a little bit more, it's like, this is something that works for me. This is something that doesn't work for me. Yeah. And I'm trusting you as my coach to kind of run with this inspiration of what has worked for me.
Right. This is going to be a weird analogy, but stay with me.
Okay.
You don't go to a gun range and just start shooting.
Okay.
People go to the gym and just start doing random stuff. For some reason, the biggest fear in the gym is I don't want anybody to think I'm stupid. So they don't ask any questions. If there's one thing that I could say
just ask a question.
Anybody, ask a question.
Yeah.
All of these gym fails that you see on TikTok could have been solved by just saying, how does this machine work? There are a lot of very complicated machines in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
You can sit there and be like, maybe I do that.
And they have a diagram on them, but
they're not very helpful.
No, they're not.
I would say as I'm walking around the floor, the majority of what I do is just tell people come up to me and say,
here's how the
heck does this work? I can't get the leg press to unlock. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Sit down, and I explain it to them.
Yeah.
And then they're good for the rest of the time.
Right. Just ask.
Ask people, specifically the fitness professionals. You may not want to ask the front desk people because they
might not know.
Yeah,
they're maybe not trainers.
Different gyms are different ways, but our front desk people are very, they're just greeters.
They're front desk people.
That's what they
are. Anyway.
Just talk to people and ask people.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. If somebody's walking around with a shirt that says trainer, just ask them. That is literally their job.
There's just this. the problem with that is, unfortunately, in the big box,
you're going to get a sales pitch. And again, that's part of their job. Yeah, just say no.
I just
if you don't want it,
I know. And this is personal for me. I just hate that aspect of it because I am in this business to be an educator more so than anything else. And I think that this holds me back a lot of the times. I'm not a terrible salesperson, but I'm not a pushy salesperson, and I'm not a very upfront advertising salesperson. Yeah. If you come to me and you say, what services can you offer? Boom, bang. I can.
But I think it's very natural if it's like, hey, I can't get this machine to work. Oh, here, let me show you. And hey, if you were ever interested in learning more about different things in the gym.
And that's fine.
You know, my name's Jonah. Give me a call.
But we are coached in these corporate gyms to be aggressive with this. Like, everybody watching this has had an experience. If you've been to one of these gyms where a trainer has stepped over the line with trying, you know, you've got your headphones in, you're going for, hey, can I talk to you a little bit about
like,
no. Yeah, exactly. So that, you know, but don't let that be a person, be a human being. Say, no, I'm not interested. Thanks for the advice. I'm really not interested at this time. Anybody, if they
put your headphone back in and keep going
and go, you're good at that.
Nothing
point.
Wrong with that.
So we've got lack of communication, number one, lack of flexibility. Let's say number two. Is there any more that you can think of? That would kind of turn you off?
I mean, there's certain personality things that I wouldn't want. Like somebody who's like, I would want a coach who's encouraging rather than
that's
like
a great point.
Yelling at me.
That's a great point.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, I always think of like, well, until I like got to know you, but like as, I don't know, like
camp.
Like drill sergeant, like you've been left heavier than that. What are you doing? When what I really want is, you did a great job with that. Next week we can do even better. Like that's just a personality preference on my part. You know, I shut down when somebody's being loud in my direction.
I wouldn't define
and
that.
that's just me. That's not a red flag.
That as a red flag, but that's
somebody
a great point.
who can't adjust their approach to meet a client's personality needs, that might be and that kind of fits into the other one.
Sometimes there are just personality clashes. Like I am very much that second type of trainer. I'm an encourager.
Yeah.
And for most of the people that I work with long term, that is how, but I have lost clients because I do not drive them hard enough. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I work in a very encouraging way. I'm not going to change to be a drill sergeant.
You're a gentle giant.
That's just not my personality. I understand that you're looking for something like that.
And hey, my friend Bob is totally that. So
there's a huge industry of drill sergeant style training.
And I would never do it.
That's not for me.
It honestly would make me like draw inwards and not actually do my best. I think that's just because I know myself and I know what I respond to.
Not so much a red flag, but
that's
it is
a preference.
As you mature as a trainer, you do have to start to realize that your psychology and your personality play a big role in your success with specific types of people. And you can start to market yourself that way. Like I am very upfront with, I'm going to be with you in the trenches. We're going to work together. I'm going to be encouraging you rather than pushing you. Is that something that in the past you have responded well to? If not, you might want to find somebody else. Yeah. Right?
Or if they say no, it's like, all right, I'll scream at you.
And I have pushed some people.
And that doesn't really work for you.
No, I don't.
That's okay.
I don't really feel, some of my bodybuilding clients, I have built enough of a relationship with them where I can kind of get in their face a little bit and be like, this is, but I'm never going to be yelling at people. I just don't do that.
Yeah. I guess
I'm loud enough to begin with.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So I don't really need to raise my voice anymore.
Yeah. I guess another red flag is maybe somebody who doesn't like listen to what your goals are. Like if your goal is like to gain weight or like build muscle, but like they're a trainer who's all about like the beach body and like losing weight and getting toned. It's like, well, maybe that's not what I want.
Yep. This is a huge one.
Really?
Yeah, because again, I can only speak to my own experience, but in a corporate gym, on both sides of the spectrum, as a client and as a trainer, the idea is that people are coming to you just for fat loss, or people are coming to you just to get a six pack, or just to be beach body ready.
Yeah,
I don't subscribe to that.
There's so much more to fitness than that. Yeah.
Well, I think that I do a pretty decent job of marketing myself as the guy that's going to get you stronger. Like you look at all my, I end every video with get strong, stay strong. I think the value in training is strength and muscle.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who want training and want to go to the gym and have no interest in losing weight.
Yeah. I have a client.
Totally cool.
I have a client that day one said to me, I'm not interested in losing any weight at all. Don't even talk to me about nutrition. I just want to train. Absolutely,
Great.
my man. Let's do it. Let's get under the bench press.
But a lot of trainers would be like, are you sure? Here's my nutrition plan that I give to everybody. Let's talk about why you might want to lose it. Like,
and I have talked a little bit about nutrition with after I built a relationship.
But in the context of their goal of gaining strength and not losing weight.
Hey, this is not a weight loss tactic, but I do want to tell you about the XYZ or whatever.
Nutrition wise. Right. Yeah.
And me and this guy have been training together for 2 years.
Yeah.
We like, it works, right?
Great.
I think you have to really, as a trainer, you have to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is the reason that I'm doing this? Is it really to help people get healthier, which I think it should be as a personal trainer. That's the main reason why we do this.
Yeah.
Health is a very big spectrum. And especially metabolic health. A lot of the times, as trainers, we see weight loss as a net good because that's the physical thing that we can't see your cholesterol when you walk in. We can't see your blood pressure.
Right.
So for us, lower weight usually indicates better blood pressure, better cholesterol, better cardiovascular health.
And it's a change that you can see as a direct result of your work. Exactly. So that's gratifying.
And that's awesome. And I have celebrated weight loss with clients. That's great. But that was their goal when they came in.
Right. You're celebrating it because that's what they wanted and that's what they achieved.
Weight loss for weight loss sake, we're pushing a little bit towards maybe we just have to be careful.
And for me, the red flag is, a client comes to you not wanting
and you're just
that and you're just pushing it because that's like the only thing that I've seen. Actually, I didn't come up with that. I mean, I've seen some reels of like, girls who are making a reel about their experience with personal training and they come in and they're like, I want to get stronger. I want to, squat X amount of weight or whatever. And the trainer's like, sounds great. Here's my Beachbody diet program. And they're like, no, I don't want a copy of that.
Yeah.
And the reel is just this like cycle of the trainer continuing to push that.
Yeah.
And it makes people very uncomfortable.
That's one of the more unfortunate sides of our industry is a lot of the times bigger gyms are also affiliated with a nutrition plan. And so they get commission for.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yes. That is a massive part.
Weight Watchers and LA Fitness have a partnership or something like that.
Yes. That's a good example.
Jenny Craig and Planet Fitness.
Right. Right. There are.
Interesting.
And so your monetary value is then based on how many of these sales you can make. So of course you're then going to push on everybody. Right?
That's so crazy.
It's horrible. The way
Such a conflict of interest.
Yeah. The way that personal training is done in these big corporate gyms, I hope is starting to be phased out because it's not fair to the trainer. The trainers don't get paid enough. It's not fair to the client 100%. They're being way overcharged. They're not getting the value that they need. And a lot of the times the trainer is forced to do these specific things that the gym is telling them to do that may not be the best case scenario for the person in front of you.
Yeah.
So that's why, while I do still find a lot of value in working in the corporate gym, and that's why I'm still there, I have moved a lot of my business to online where I can make the decisions with the person. We can have a discussion about what they want and make the decision.
And you're not limited by a short, time frame imposed on you for your sessions. True. And the price is more, value for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think finding what success looks like for the client should be top of the list. Because then, like I said, the weight loss is a very clear indicator of what you are doing is working. But
there are other ways to measure success, though.
If you take the time in the initial session with the client and say, what does success look like for you? With my 87-year-old client, success was being able to get out of the chair without having to support themselves on the armrest. I was like, oh man, that's a great goal. I'm glad that so we did a lot of lower body and core work for stability
and balance work too, I bet.
And by the time he was done, boom.
Yeah. I bet there are a lot of older people who want to be able to play on the floor with their grandkids and stand up afterwards.
That's a huge one. Yeah.
Huge. And that takes a lot of strength relative to their age.
Right. And in that sense, I would never say, let's get you in a calorie deficit. In a lot of cases, I'd say
that would be detrimental to their health.
Calorie surplus and make sure the protein is right. So this goes back to the one size fits all thing. It just doesn't work.
No.
It just doesn't work. And if you're dealing with a trainer that is really pushing something like that on you, try and end that relationship and
find someone who will listen to you.
Right. You never feel like you cannot talk to your trainer. You can. if something like this happens, I don't want to say like, oh, quit training
like
immediately.
Cut and run. No.
Have a discussion with them. Say, hey, this really isn't what I'm looking for. Is there something we can do to change here? 9 times out of 10, if a trainer's worth even a little bit of their salt, they will do whatever they can to provide you with a better service. Because again, that's how they eat. That's how they make money.
Well, and I think a lot of trainers become trainers because they want to help people.
Yeah.
Like at a base level, they want to help you.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. I think that's probably true for a lot of people.
I do think there are a lot of trainers that really like the gym and look good and are like, oh, I can make a quick buck doing this. So those are the people we got to be careful.
I think it's the same in any like quote unquote helping profession. Like it's like I think most doctors are in the medicine game because they want to help people. But some people think being a doctor is going to make you rich.
Yeah.
Which it's not always very lucrative.
True.
So yeah, there's good and bad in every helping profession, but I think most trainers have experienced, joy and positivity in the gym and want to help other people experience that too.
Well, there's no feeling for someone who loves the gym like someone that you've been coaching coming to you and saying, I succeeded in this, or I'm starting to really like being in the gym, or I'm really liking the changes that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's indescribable.
Well, I think I've maybe done that for you a little bit.
You absolutely. And I have like tons of clients that are just like, hey, look at this cool thing I did, or look at my muscle. Look, I never even knew I had muscles. Like
I did that to you recently. I'm like, look at my arm.
It's so great. And honestly, like, as a competitor coach, as someone who also is competing in the sport, it's great if I hit a PR, but it pales in comparison to the feeling of one of my athletes hitting a PR.
Yeah.
Dude, I would take that every day of the week over me. If I never hit another PR again, but I'm able to bring people to huge numbers that they want to hit, I'm good. Yeah. Life is good.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? So speaking of trainers, our fitness question of the day is also about a trainer.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
It's a trainer adjacent.
Okay.
So my trainer told me I wouldn't see much change in body composition. Is it true that if you're not visibly overweight, that your body won't change much in appearance? For reference, I'm a woman in their early 30s. I'm 59 kilograms, 120 pounds-ish. Okay. 25 maybe. With high body fat percentage at 37%. Mark that. My main goal is to reduce body fat, but my trainer explained, while I may see a change in my muscle and body fat percentage over time, my outward appearance won't change very dramatically. My upper body appearance is on the slender side, but my thighs hold a lot of fat and are a point of insecurity for me. So I was somewhat hoping that I could change there. Am I stuck with thick thighs forever? A lot of stuff to unpack in this one. But first and foremost, what I wanted to say about the 37% body fat.
That's not that high, is it?
I mean,
it's a little high.
It's all relative. But usually for women, the healthy body fat range, I use that word very carefully, is between 20 and 30%.
Yeah, so that's not that crazy.
Right. But what my main point here is we do not have a great way to tell what your actual body fat percentage is.
Yeah, I was kind of curious how she knows
The only way to know for sure is to have an autopsy done.
I was going to say,
and if you're alive, you don't want
you haven't had an autopsy done.
There are good methods like a DEXA scan or
the
hydrostatic
bod
weighing, the bod pod, but these all carry with them levels of inaccuracy.
Sure.
So I think it's a good way to like have an initial set point, 37% on whatever measure you're using, and then notice trend changes.
And you would want to use that same measurement.
Yeah, right.
Because each different inaccurate measurement is going to have different inaccuracies.
Exactly.
So if you measure it one way and then you measure it a different way, you're not actually measuring progress.
Right.
You're just measuring it in a different way.
So we use a bioelectrical impedance machine in the gym, and I'll just tell you how wild that it. Like, I have manipulated the machine 15 percentage points up or down on my own
in the same day.
In the same day.
Yeah. Wow.
Based on hydration, based on what numbers, Mm-hmm. So just know they're not always incredibly accurate. And a lot of times these are used as tools to scare you into buying personal training.
Yeah. So take with a grain of salt anytime you have one of these done.
Anyway, let's get into the meat of this question. And I think this trainer is doing their best to set realistic expectations.
Yes.
I don't think it's on the trainer really because, again, this person is not heavily overweight. these major changes that we see usually do take place when you have a lot of body fat to lose.
Yes.
Your traditional before and after pictures, right? But that's not a measure of success, or that shouldn't be a measure of success for you, right?
Yeah.
Like a change in your body composition.
Well, I was just going to say, I tend to carry more weight in like the lower half of my body.
I think most women do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's normal. I've seen some changes in the way that my body looks since I started working out, but I think that's because I know very clearly what my body used to look like. I don't know that it's a change that anybody other than myself or maybe you would ever notice.
Yeah.
Are my measurements different? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Probably not, but I've noticed like some more definition in certain places.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of growth in some places, maybe a little bit of reduction in other places, but like very minute.
Yeah.
I was in that probably 25 to 30% body fat.
Yeah.
I'm probably still about the same, but I'm stronger. I look slightly different in ways that I'm happy with.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think, again, this comes back to our definition of success.
Yeah.
Right? It's unfortunate that there is some insecurity here with the sides of your thighs, because it could be that, yes, genetically you're predisposed to carry a lot of body fat in your thighs. I am genetically predisposed to carry a lot of body fat on my stomach.
I am too.
Right?
Yeah.
But my legs and my arms are usually very lean, and I carry a lot of weight in my face and in my stomach.
And when you lose weight from your whole body, but you have the most fat in those areas. So you do lose proportionally more in those areas than in your arms and legs, although you do lose fat from your whole body. You cannot reduce fat. I want to be very clear about that. But if you're losing fat, you're going to lose it from the places where you have it. Right.
Exactly. Well, that's what our fat stores are for.
Right. So yeah, if she loses fat, her thighs might get a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Probably not dramatically so, because her body fat percentage is not substantially higher than what's considered like the range of normal, quote unquote, healthy.
Well, again, you also have to like, to see drastic changes, drastic
you have to do drastic things
are necessary.
Yeah.
So yes, we could get you to 40 kilograms and your body fat percentage could be reduced by 8 to 10 percentage points.
But you're not going to feel good.
You're not going to love that process. No. That is a very intensive calorie deficit over multiple years. Right? It's a long process. So you have to ask yourself, what is my purpose for this weight loss? And if I am doing this weight loss, is it going to ruin my mental health, my physical health, the way that I interact with the world around me? If so, maybe we take a less drastic approach to the weight loss. There was one thing I wanted to say about, the body composition change. So I think what the trainer's trying to say is, you are relatively small in terms of weight. So when we see these changes, if you gain a little bit of muscle and you lose a little bit of fat, you're still going to be
your weight's going to be the same
on weight, right?
Yeah.
But you will experience differences in the way that you look in the mirror, in the way that clothes fit, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think
I can definitely say that that's true for me.
The main takeaway is, even if you're not going to experience massive changes, or somebody tells you that you may not experience massive changes, you don't know until you try.
That's true.
Right? It could be that your body really responds well to resistance training and a very slight calorie deficit, and you shed fat and you're looking ripped. You will not know.
Good for you if that's the case.
Right? There are some people that are just genetically predisposed to
Good for you.
Better outcomes.
Yeah. But, hopefully after she's done some training, she'll feel strong. Yeah. She'll feel good about herself.
Yeah.
Find some parts of her body that she's like really excited with the changes, and just feel confident in herself.
Again, I think this is the trainer's job, is to recontextualize what success is as you go. And if you continue to say, or you continue to measure body fat every week that they come in, that's just going to reinforce like, oh my God, I'm not changing them, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to lose that client. Instead, let's say, wow, man, you remember when you came in and you couldn't even squat the bar, and now you're squatting 95 pounds? That's crazy.
This is awesome.
And then she's going to think, oh yeah, I'm getting a lot stronger. My quads are getting a little bit bigger. My thighs aren't as thick as they were.
Yeah, they're looking strong and,
Recontextualize.
Yeah.
Recontextualize what success is. We live in a world where success is just pounds going down. That is not success.
There is so much more to life
it could be
and
success
health.
for you,
Yeah.
but there's so much more to success than that.
Yeah.
Recontextualize it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you ever see this, hopefully that helped.
Yeah.
I always like to say that because you never know.
You never know.
All right, I think we're gonna call it a day.
All right.
This was a fun one.
This
a little
was
bit
fun.
of a little bit of insight into my psyche and my. That's what I want the podcast to be.
Yeah.
Again, I want to give an example. I have gone through every spectrum of diet, every spectrum of weight loss, weight gain, all that. I want people to see me as an example.
Yeah.
Because I am incredibly happy with the outcomes. Incredibly happy. I'm doing the things I want to be doing. I love the way that I look. I love what my body provides me the opportunity to do. I want people to see that example.
I think that's beautiful.
So there you go. That was, I don't know, I think this was like our 16th episode.
Wow.
We're
We're
churning
almost
them
at
out.
20. That's exciting.
Almost to 20. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah,
Thanks for
guys.
coming on this journey with us. Again, we really appreciate you interacting with the content, sharing the content around to people. If that's something you feel like you want to do, we would really appreciate it.
For sure.
Check us out on Spotify, all that jazz. Get strong and stay strong. There you go. A little one for you. We love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.